That's all you had?
I got.
You had nothing to say to these people.
Nothing to say to
Hey,
people.
welcome to Stay Winning Sports.
We said it.
I'm your co-host, Curtis Mitchell.
And I'm Talib.
Yep. And
No rapper can rap quite like I
Hey,
can.
man.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
you cut your hair and think you somebody else. You ugly, man. Stop. Hey, you can find us at staywinning.tv. Catch all our socials there.
Yes, you can.
Hey, man.
Football season.
It's football season.
We in the building.
I had a wild thought, but I gotta verify a couple of things.
Okay.
All right. Last February,
Yeah.
Super Bowl. Who were the two teams that were in the Super Bowl?
Niners and Chiefs.
Niners and Chiefs.
Yeah.
Chiefs took the bag.
Back to back.
Who did the Chiefs play last year?
Last year, as far as what?
Last season. Who did the Chiefs play in the Super Bowl? Eagles, right? No.
No. The year before that, it was the Eagles. Last year, it was the Niners. So they just beat the Niners.
Niners in February.
Niners in February.
Yeah.
And then
last season,
the Eagles.
It was the Eagles.
Yes.
And who was in the Super Bowl the year before that? The Liver.
The Rams and the Bengals.
The Rams and the Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, good. So I got an observation, man. I'm one of those like hurt Giants fans.
Yeah.
Even though we do what to expect.
It's still a bit. Take some pain medicine.
But I'm not gonna turn this into a thing about the Giants. They're not worth
Thank you, Jesus. Woo.
Offensive minded coaches.
Yeah.
How important are they to the NFL and to the success of the team?
In today's NFL, extremely.
Yeah.
In today's NFL, extremely. Right. This is what makes Andy Reid, in my opinion, so special, because he was an offensive-minded coach in a much more physical era when they had Donovan McNabb
Right.
with the Philadelphia Eagles,
Right.
where you could grab the receiver and hold the receiver and, not so many unnecessary roughness penalties on the quarterback or, defenseless receivers. He was a guru then.
Yeah. Pass interference calls weren't being called as much as they are now.
Correct. So in today's NFL, when you have an offensive-minded head coach or an offensive coordinator who's a guru, your team, if the personnel matches up, are going to be nearly impossible to defend.
Yeah, I'll tell you like kind of what had my mind kind of going on this, man. Like looking at the success of some of these quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Like we did a whole did a whole chat about Patrick Mahomes setting the bar.
Right.
Who might be able to surpass him during the regular season.
Right.
We ain't talk about postseason because that boy seemed to turn it on. Yeah. But what I realized is like, Patrick Mahomes was drafted and he sat behind
Alex Smith
for a number of years before he
I think
became
it was 2 years.
before he became the starting quarterback. And a lot of teams passed him up. I think the Giants passed him up. Like needed a quarterback, didn't go get Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
In hindsight, that looks pretty stupid, right?
Yeah.
Except when you look at the talent the Giants have had over the years, like Daniel Jones is a talented athlete, but might he be better if he had, well, actually, he was better when he had an offensive-minded coach, when he had Pat Shermer.
So, go ahead.
Yeah, and so I look at it and I'm going like, man, Patrick Mahomes, we knew he had arm talent.
Yeah.
Coming out of college, he had arm talent. We knew that he could throw the ball like crazy.
Right.
Now you put him with one of the most brilliant offensive minds in the NFL or in NFL history, so to speak.
Yeah.
And not only is he just a fantastic arm talent, but he is a future Hall of Famer.
Easy.
Like if he stopped playing now,
he's going to the Hall of Fame. He's the first ballot Hall of Famer.
Exactly, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't know that anybody saw that.
No.
When he was being drafted.
Not at all.
So to what extent did Andy Reid and his coaching staff help turn him into this monster that he is now?
So I'm going to say this. How great will we say Michael Vick was as an Atlanta Falcon?
As a Falcon, Vick made his name. Mm-hmm. Mike Vick was Lamar Jackson when he was a Falcon, right?
Hot.
He was that
He was that guy, right?
That you tried to get him, you tried to bring him down, but it was difficult to get hands on him.
I don't know statistically
Yeah.
what I'm about to say will hold
Forget
up.
the numbers. Just talk.
His best season was in Philadelphia when he was the MVP candidate
Yeah.
under Andy Reid.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it don't make a difference technically who the quarterback is, right? Because even Alex Smith was a winner
Yeah.
under Andy Reid. Now, his talent could only take him but so far,
Right.
right? So that lets you know the talent that Patrick Mahomes has as far as just transcended and a generational talent.
Right.
But you take Michael Vick, who also was a transcended generational talent,
Right.
and you put him in that same system in Philly, he's an MVP candidate.
Right.
Had he got Mike when he was being drafted,
When he was in Atlanta,
when he was in Atlanta,
Yeah.
what do we see? We see a
first ballot Hall of Famer,
period.
except the criminal stuff. But
He may not even have that on his resume had he got, we don't know.
don't know.
Yeah, no, we
But,
just,
you know what I'm saying.
but that tells you how great
Yeah.
Andy Reid is from an offensive perspective.
agree, he took Donovan McNabb. I mean, Donovan McNabb was good,
Right.
but Andy Reid took
Oh, that, yeah, the system.
further.
Absolutely.
Right. I think they went to what, like 5 straight
NFC Championship games
conference
and a Super
championships?
Bowl. Yeah.
Yeah, and
But
one Super Bowl, right?
then you take
With T.O.
two other
with a broken leg.
you take two other offensive-minded guys,
Yeah.
both in the NFC West, with
Go ahead.
Sean McVay
Yep.
and Kyle Shanahan.
Which team is Sean McVay from?
Wasn't it all on that same staff with the Philly staff or the Washington staff?
No, I'm saying, what team is he on? Is he with now?
Oh, the Rams.
Right. Who was in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, Super Bowl
2 years ago?
3 years ago. It's 3 years
years
ago,
ago?
technically, yeah.
And then you said Kyle
Shanahan, who's been in the Super Bowl last year.
in February.
And the year before the Rams and the Bengals.
Right, 4 years ago.
So, and here's the thing, their systems are different,
Right.
but this is the system. If you give me the personnel to match the system, we are going to be difficult to beat. It's going to take a transcendent type of player to beat us.
Right. And
You get what I'm saying? And guess who beat him twice? Patrick Mahomes.
well, I mean, it's not just his talent though. It's
No.
just he got offensive minded.
Correct. He got another person that can match the offensive game. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I mean they come out there with weapons, right? This isn't like, we're not talking about teams who only have the quarterback.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
No, they got
Well, they got players.
they talk about the Niners. They got Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant,
No.
who is looking like a stud at
He
quarterback.
should be a first round draft pick the way he's playing.
Exactly. Even though he's a game,
He's a game manager.
I don't want to say
Not
even
disrespectful.
Though. I don't want to say even though.
Right.
But he's a great,
He's an elite game manager for that system.
As Cam Newton articulated well. Like, there's a difference between what Brock Purdy does as a quarterback and what Michael Vick did when he was on the Falcons.
Correct.
Right? So you got Brock Purdy out there,
Right.
throwing to Kittles, throwing to Debo,
Throwing to
or
Ayuk.
throwing to IU, or handing it
Jennings
off.
now, because Jennings is on that team as well.
Yeah,
and now now he handed it off to
He can hand it off to C-Mac.
Yeah.
He can hand it off to Mason.
Jordan Mason.
And he handed it off to Debo.
Correct.
Because Debo can just be anywhere on the
Correct.
field, and you better account for
Yeah,
him.
they called him a wide back. That's the position they. I know that's Paul.
I don't think that-
I don't know what they do with that. That's what they call Debo.
Well,
Debo
he from-
position is a wide.
He's from South
back.
Carolina, like Zion. So, you know.
Did you just call me a silverback?
No, wide back.
Wide back, big back. You big back McGee. I'm joking. But yes, you see what I'm saying? Like the system, and then with Sean McVay. I mean,
When they went, I think he had Eckler, Austin Eckler as his running back, right?
you take
No,
no.
that was the Chargers. wasn't
Yeah,
it?
but you take
The Raiders.
the most recent Triple Crown winner at wide receiver. Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
He's the last one to do it.
Yeah. Well, he was out there with Odell.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then you take a rookie.
They had Robert Wood.
Correct.
I think they traded him mid-season,
Yeah.
or he got hurt. One of
Yeah,
those
something like that.
happened.
But now the rookie comes out of nowhere and
Oh, Puka Nacua, that was last year when he was balling.
But the system,
Right.
you put him in the system, you got a great throwing quarterback.
yeah,
As long as you can protect Matthew Stafford,
Yeah.
he's gonna pick you apart.
Yeah.
He's going to pick you apart.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So no, I agree. The offensive mind head coaches and the offensive minded, like the geniuses of the OC position, makes a huge difference in today's NFL.
And if I remember correctly, 4 years ago when the Rams went to the Super Bowl, the running back they had was a good running back, not a great running back, but because of this offensive system, he looked great in the postseason.
Correct.
They had two running backs, but they had the backup, the secondary running back. They brought him in, I think, via trade that season. I can't remember his name, but when he got to the postseason, man, he was running his behind off.
Yeah.
Like, he is a stud.
Yeah, no, I think
for the
that
postseason.
I think the offensive, just the way the game is officiated, the athletes that play on the outsides, and now even the tight end position.
Yeah,
you got a guy that can scheme you open.
right.
You got a problem.
So here's the next question then. So we see that you got teams out there with rosters that are ready to go.
Right.
And they got coaches that know how to get the most out of their talent.
Mm-hmm.
Can Nick Sirianni compete with the Andy Reids, the Sean McVays, and the Shanahan level coaches?
It's a good question. So I'm gonna say this. He's been competing.
Yeah.
Right. So yes, he can compete.
But they've taken a turn. Like they still got a great roster.
Yeah.
They got some young studs on that team.
Yeah.
But they don't seem the same.
I'm gonna say this. Because we saw it this week, and I think this was a part of the strategy. We want Saquon Barkley as an Eagle because he is our Christian McCaffrey.
Yes, he is.
Okay. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He's dynamic. He's gonna break tackles. And if you miss him, it's a curtain call.
Yeah. Good night.
Right? Which is Christian McCaffrey in San Francisco. All right. They're believing, and I tend to agree with it. They will see each other somewhere in the postseason.
Yeah.
Whether the second round or the NFC Championship game, we're going to have to go through that team.
Yeah.
And now we can match body for body offensively.
At least get them linebacker somebody to
I mean, here's the reality, right? You have to account that Fred Warner ain't thinking about nobody but Saquon Barkley.
But in Greenlaw when he comes back.
Correct.
Right. So you got two great linebackers on that Niners team.
And you look at the wide receivers for both teams, right?
Debo, AJ.
Who's better?
I'm gonna give it to Debo by a little bit,
right?
Because it's a little bit more versatile and how they use him.
He is.
But you let either one of them catch the ball, and
good luck tackling.
If I'm on the defense,
good luck.
Hey, fellas,
right?
I got him. He over here, but I need y'all help.
Correct.
Come on, let's go
and
get him.
You go, offensive line for offensive line. We talking about picking.
Well,
straws here.
Now with Jason Kelce not on the Eagles anymore,
they still got one of the top offensive line, and that's the crazy thing.
They do, but I'm saying the best offensive lineman between the two teams is
he's the best in the NFL. So
I can't argue that.
You
I won't argue that. That's
to me. That's the reason why they got Saquon Barkley.
He's a wide back.
Yeah.
Debo not a wide back when he's standing next to he lined up next to Trent Williams. Trent Williams is a wide back.
Yeah, brother. So I think that's the reason why you want, and they hope that these two star running backs are healthy come postseason.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna be a tough out.
So you saying you would that your main attraction to that matchup is Christian McCaffrey versus Saquon?
Has to be.
Running backs?
Has to be.
That don't get paid?
Has to be though. because here's the reality. I get it.
Yeah.
Debo can fill in for Christian McCaffrey.
Nah. He could give you a couple of yards.
Yes, he can fill in like
backfield.
A little bit. You know what I'm saying? Now, okay, Jordan Watson is ball.
Jordan Mason
is ball. Yes. Right.
So as far as we've seen so far.
But when it comes down to it, when you call a play and you need these 3-4 yards on a third and long, you going to CMC. You're going to Christian McCaffrey. The defense knows you want to go to, he's your first read. Now, if he's taken away, sure, you got other weapons to get the ball to, but your first read is Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, and the amazing thing is your fourth read is Ayuk.
Correct. Because you
That's
go,
wild.
you're going Debo, Kittle. Absolutely. I agree with
wild. Ayuk is the guy that has the one-on-one matchup most of the game.
And they still going to throw it to the double team, and they feel he could be the double team.
Well, let me ask you: Is it? What do you feel is better? Is it better to hit Ayuk single coverage, 20+ yards down the field, and I say hit him, but throw it to him 20+ yards down the field, or hit Debo 7 yards down the field with like a linebacker and a safety on, or a linebacker in the corner on, or whatever?
Honestly,
There won't be a linebacker, probably a safety in the corner.
throw the ball to Debo. Because it's a 50-50 ball with Ayuk. It's really a 50-50 ball. He could catch it, it could ball incomplete. Debo gonna catch the ball.
Yeah.
Now it's a 50-50 shot, they gonna tackle him. And 99.9% of the time, he breaking that first tackle.
It's 100% shot. They gonna call for more help.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Debo is a lot.
You know, I just think that like those two teams right now offensively are designed to go deep, make a deep playoff run.
Yeah.
And then mirroring each other offensively. Now, who knows if these guys can stay healthy?
Right.
But who knows if Nick Sirianni's offensive mind is going to outdo Shanahan's.
Yeah, it's
Could be a tough. That's a
there's
tough
so
slate.
many. It's so many different. We call them matchups, but none of this is one-on-one. It's
No,
team versus
it's a team, yeah.
But it's a good matchup.
Oh, absolutely.
Team versus team because their strengths are similar.
Absolutely.
But so here's one of those things that kind of we just touched on a little bit that kind of stand out to me. Like I like to nerd out over numbers sometimes because when we see things happen on the field or we see sports teams make decisions, as fans, we like to try to play it out in our heads. Like, why did they make this decision?
Right.
Why did San Francisco draft Brock Purdy?
Right.
Nobody else was going to draft him. They knew that.
Right.
But what made them take the chance with him and give him an opportunity to play?
Yeah.
Right. Like if I draft the quarterback, most teams, you draft the quarterback with the last pick in the draft, that's probably a throwaway pick.
Right.
You're likely like, all right, we got this guy. Maybe he's
Let's
practice
check him
squad,
out. Yeah.
good, but if he's not,
Get rid of him.
yeah, he's not
No
making the
harm, no
roster.
foul. Yeah.
Right. But this guy, not only did he get a chance to play, he got a chance to compete for the
He
starting
sealed, he
role,
sealed his deal.
and he did. So, what I'm wondering is, how successful is he when it comes to the percentages with throwing the ball 20+ yards?
It's a good question.
Because if you're Kyle Shanahan and you're looking at the makeup of your team and you're thinking about how would I defend my team given this personnel and given the way we like to play, the calls we like to make, C-Mac would never be left alone.
Yeah.
Debo would never be left alone.
Yeah.
Kills would never be left alone.
Ayuk, you man to man, go get it.
Now look, you can't leave those guys alone. You can't guard them. You can't defend them one-on-one. And you can spy all of them with like one safety or whatever, but that's not enough. So you got 3-4 guys on the line. You got anywhere between 3 and 6 guys spying those 3. You only got 11 players out there. Ayuk is by himself.
Yeah.
So the numbers tell me if our offensive line behind Trent Williams can hold up long enough, Ayuk can get down the field, single coverage, and I just need somebody who can
Get him the
put the
ball.
ball where it needs to be when they throw it 20+ yards and have a high completion percentage with those plays. And high completion percentage varies because in the NFL, I don't know what that number is off the top of my head, but it used to be a low percentage pass. I think Tom Brady was the one who did it the best, but you don't see a lot of quarterbacks throwing down the field because it was a low percentage shot. Baby Brock Purdy especially.
You know what's weird, man, is because thinking about a different team, not the same offensive philosophy, doesn't have the same personnel, right? But thinking about a special player that you have to double every single time they line up offense, and yet it's still this offensive head coach figures out a way to get him in the football, get him in the end zone, and he's pushing 100 to 150 yards a game in Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Right? Now,
Yeah.
He ain't a running back,
No.
right? He is a wide receiver. He can play in the slot. He can play on the outside. He is a wide receiver, right? The teams know they can get him the football.
Yeah.
And yet and still, there's nothing you can do about it,
Again.
right?
Yeah. Sorry.
And I'm laughing because every defensive coordinator that played the Miami Dolphins schemes to stop Tyreek Hill. And you can't do it.
Because you can only do it so many plays a game.
Just imagine if Tyreek Hill was on the 49ers, the Rams, or the Eagles. Good luck.
I would say like the Eagles one, I don't know. The other two, yeah, because I would worry about Matt Stafford throwing on the ball. I would worry about Brock Purdy throwing on the ball. Jalen Hurts has two fantastic wide receivers, and he struggled last week.
Yeah.
He has to do better. He can do better. He did go win the Super Bowl, so
He's been to a Super Bowl. He hasn't won the Super Bowl.
Oh wait, they won.
Yeah,
That's right. They won with Nick Foles.
Yes.
Thank you. But he's been there. He's talented enough to get him there.
I think he's the weak link.
Right now, he's looking
I
like
think he's the weak link. Not saying he's not a great player. He's a great player. But at the end of the day, he's the one that will get them over the hump, or he's the one that's going to get them the L.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with Brock Purdy. It's either Brock Purdy can get you there, but can he get you to the win? Yeah. Because teams, Kansas City, okay, we're going to eventually take away what you really, really want to do. And what I mean by take away is keep you from getting 10 yards and get a first down and move the chains.
Yeah.
And we'll hold you to field goals, which puts our offense in a better position to beat you because we're going to score touchdowns.
Yeah.
All right. So Jalen Hurts and Brock Purdy have to be the guys
Right.
that get their teams over the hump, because you are not beating the Kansas City Chiefs with field goals.
That's facts. So they have to be effective at helping their teams get touchdowns.
Correct.
They don't necessarily have to throw those touchdowns, but they have to be effective enough
to get them
when they hand it off to their elite running backs.
Absolutely.
Those elite running backs have a great shot at getting a touchdown because the defense is worried about are you going to throw this thing or are you going to hand it off?
Yes.
Right? And you also got to be able to go get it yourself. Too.
Absolutely.
Hurts, we know he can do it.
Yeah, he can do that. Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Brock Purdy is actually sneaky. Like
he got some athleticism.
Like Mahomes.
Yeah.
He's sneaky with some of his moves too.
Yeah.
He's not as effective as Mahomes, but he's sneaky with some of his running, his moves on the run. Going back to Tyreek Hill for a second though, like you scheming against Tyreek Hill, you trying to stop him, but you got Waddle on the other side.
Good luck.
You got Mostert in that the second year.
There was a track meet.
I can't remember his name right now.
It's something with an A. Yeah.
Coming out of the backfield, you got to worry about them.
It's a track meet.
And two was a dog. So what you gonna do?
Track meet.
You going to keep stopping Tyreek Hill. Keep the lid on Tyreek Hill. Keep the lid on Tyreek Hill. Meanwhile, you're getting eaten up by the running game. You get eaten up by Waddle, and then you try to get a little bit of a like, oh, maybe if we just act like we're gonna keep the lid on Tyreek Hill, but we actually cheat over here a little bit.
Touchdown. Because it's weird, right? Because it's almost like I think like the offensive, like when Oregon in college, bubble screen, flare screen, dump pass, then all of a sudden you done inched up. Yeah, over the top, touchdown.
Yeah,
it's almost like that with the Dolphins. It's like, okay, we're gonna throw this little flat screen to Tyreek. We're gonna fake it to him. We're gonna hand it off here. We're gonna throw a little 7-yard screen, little 3-yard hitch. All of a sudden, the safeties then got flat-footed. Waddle, post route, touchdown. It's like, shoot. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
That's the beauty of that offense. But that's the beauty of having Tyreek Hill on your offense as well.
Yeah, but you also got to have, again, thinking about ball and team.
Correct.
You got to have quarterbacks
to get the football.
That's capability
to get the football. And that's what
in a line that gives them enough time. Yes. Tyreek Hill is super fast, but it still takes him a little bit of time to get down the field. Yeah.
This player is not, he's not a player that we talking about.
Okay.
In the regard that we going
to. Until you bring him up.
I'm going to bring him up, right? But one thing that was said about Deshaun Watson against the Dallas Cowboys was he got hit way too many times.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I don't know how good the Cleveland offensive line is. Okay. The way they looked last week is not that good.
Well, I thought last week we saw a resurgence in Michael Parsons too.
I would say I agree, which is based off of the new system that Mike Zimmer has. Okay. But to the point that you just made, having the time to be able to play action pass to allow them to get down the field, Deshaun Watson couldn't hit Amari Cooper with a full-fledged balloon ball on Sunday. I mean, he ain't have no time to set his feet and read the defense to throw darts. He was under duress, right? Yeah. So these quarterbacks, these offensive gurus, the first thing they do is shore up their offensive line.
Protect the quarterback.
Point, Patrick Mahomes, Super Bowl against the Tampa Bay Bucks. He had no tackles. They lost.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't protect him. He's running around trying to just get any kind of pass off. So if you don't have protection, I don't care how great your quarterback is, you ain't winning nothing.
Who the Bucks have? Did they have Barrett on one end and JPP on the other?
They had Barrett, JPP. They had Ndamukong Suh.
Forget it.
They were loaded on the D-line and the line during that Super Bowl run, man. So man, he was running around, like I said, just running all over the place, and he still made it close. But you can't win that way. No. You can't win that way. So offensive gurus, offensive coordinators, offensive head coaches, the first and the most important component of anything that they do offensively is, can we protect our guy?
Right. They got to find a way.
Gotcha.
Got to find a way to protect the quarterback.
The plays don't mean nothing if he can't be protected.
At least get him some time, right? But also, going to the skills of the quarterbacks. The quarterbacks have to have a healthy sense, a healthy pocket presence, a healthy sense of the pocket. Mm-hmm. Like they gotta know where the danger's coming from. Because oftentimes it's not coming from where you're facing, where you're looking, you can see it head on. Mm-hmm. I see the best quarterbacks, Aaron Rodgers as an example, drop back, won't even show that they can see the defensive end coming. Mm-hmm. So you see them climb the pocket right before, like when that defensive end feels like, ooh, I got him. They climb the pocket and just calmly deliver a strike that takes the breath out of you. You want to take Tom Brady, Peyton Manning out of the game, hit him a couple times back there. And all of a sudden, they flinching, they throwing balls in the ground, they rushing reads. The greatest of the greats even become human when they get touched up a little bit. Well, these are giants. Absolutely. We was talking earlier a little bit about all the slope guys. And I'm like, I mean, they 6'7", 6'9", these are giants. Yeah. Right? When put some meat on these giants, and you got pause. Yeah. Whoa. Help them. You got wide back. Fatten up these giants, right? I don't know how to describe what I'm saying. But basically, now you're talking about an defensive player coming at you. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Like Shaq Barrett was what? What is he like? 6'4", 6'5"? 6'3", 240, 250, whatever he is. Lawrence Taylor said the best. Hey, Montana was the greatest, right? And I wanted to give him what I had because I had a lot to give him, and he deserved to have it. That was the pause of the week. that was the pause of the week. Wait, LT, what you say? He said what he said. He meant it too. I got a whole lot to give him, and he deserves to have it. I bet you Montana wasn't waiting for him. I bet you Montana knew where Taylor was on that field. I tell you. Man, look, man, that's a great, thinking about what we talking about, offensive-minded head coaches and OCs, the value of them in today's NFL. Yeah. Because the rules allow them to have all of this creativity to scheme it the way they scheme it. It's the same thing, and I know we're done with basketball season, but it's the same thing with basketball. Yeah. You have to have coaches that can understand the shifts that are happening in their league, and not just coaches, but the GMs got to be in on it too. You need to start designing your team so that they can gain the advantage. Because everybody in these professional leagues is an elite athlete. Absolutely, they're professional for a reason. Exactly. You take an offensive lineman out of the NFL, you put him on a basketball court. Chances are he's going to dominate in a pickup game, because he is an elite athlete. Right. He's going to stronger than everybody else, likely bigger than mostly everybody else. Correct. and probably skilled because that might be his sport, right? Remember we talked about Ricky Henderson, a Hall of Famer, and his third or fourth best sport.
Richard is a problem. Yeah, Ricky.
Exactly.
I mean, think about this athlete specifically, who's a Hall of Fame defensive end. He started for the University of North Carolina.
Oh, Julius Peppers.
Period.
Yeah.
Right there. Yeah. That tells you
started for the basketball team.
How talented he is as an athlete.
Yeah.
Sure, he may not have been a pro basketball player.
He probably could have been.
Probably could have been. But if we was to go to the YMCA and see Julius Peppers playing in the Y, he is easily the best player in the Y, and it ain't gonna be close.
And he's either on my team or on leaving.
I just want to get on.
If he ain't on my team, what's the point? But Antonio Gates, the other way around. You know what I'm saying? Like the big time basketball player in college, tight end in NFL.
Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame. Same thing with Jimmy Graham, right? What was his name? He used to dunk on the
goalpost.
On the goalpost.
Yeah. Man, that's good, man. That's a good topic. A lot of people don't understand or don't even talk about the importance of that. You know what I mean? And it is actually what it does is it forces these great defensive coordinators and defensive coaches either to evolve or they're getting out of the NFL.
Either that or they get moved to assistant roles or something like that until they can adjust and come back and run the team again.
Period. Because their mindset, defensive coordinator's mindset, was brute punishment at all costs.
Yeah.
And that's not the NFL anymore.
No.
And you can't do it.
You can't, or you'll be crazy to put a bunch of like big guys out there and just try to have them go hit people.
Correct.
Because they're not catching C-Mac, you're not catching Debo.
Correct. And you get penalized 15 yards every time you do it.
And they definitely not catching IU.
No.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see like a guy that's on the sideline right now. I mean, not on the sideline, meaning like in the booth doing interviews. Will he get another chance? And how will he do if he gets another chance?
They gave him a contract to almost guarantee he stays his behind in that booth. And put it that way. Like they're like, you go back, it ain't for the money.
Correct.
You just
Correct.
you know, that's vanity at that point.
You're just arrogant.
Yeah, and at 40 something years old,
I mean, sit your butt down.
you
Eat
might
some
not
chips.
like, we talk about Romo, right?
I can't say that. He sucks.
Well, I wish he was a Giant right now. He can be the best quarterback he had.
He would. He still would be the best quarterback you got. But look, man, I think I wouldn't even talk no more. That's it, man.
Hold up.
Go ahead.
I take that back. I don't want to offend any Giants fans out there. Tony Romo.
Be offended. Be offended.
Best quarterback the Giants have.
He will be.
And I would never want to see Tony Romo dressed up as a Giant.
He lying.
No, he's not.
Not the way Dan Jones played last week. He lying.
Hey.
What was the score?
DJ can go. The Giants can go 0 for 82. What Jay said, the Nets can go 0 for 82. Yeah. Giants will be all right.
Yep.
They'll need Romo.
They're going 3 for 14 this year.
Okay. All right.
There you go.
Whatever.
You heard what I said.
Whatever.
Guys, tell us what you think, man. OCs, how important are they? Why are they important? And with those two juggernaut teams, to me, they're mirroring offensive teams. The Philadelphia Eagles, San Francisco 49ers. Do you think they meet in the NFC Championship game? Why? And who comes out on top to go to the Super Bowl this year? That's what we talking about. That's what we at. He got a wide back.
I stay winning. I'm winning, I stay winning. I did it, I stay winning. I'm winning, Never losing. I'm winning, or caught slipping.